Welcome back to Women's Wealth, The Middle Way, the show that answers your questions about work, money, and family. My name is Susan McGlory Michael, and I am the CEO and founder of Glen Eagle, a wealth management firm in New Jersey. Our guest today is Crystal Murphy. Last year, despite having no previous experience in the industry, Crystal and her husband opened Semper Pi, a veteran-owned cheesecake company. An important part of their mission is to give back to organizations that help others, veterans returning from deployment, first responders, and those who support them. Proceeds from every sale will help those causes. This is near and dear to my heart, Crystal, because I'm actually an Army wife. My husband was a West Point graduate, and so we were in the military for several years. And then I went on to have 4 children, and my oldest son is a Naval Academy graduate and served in Iraq and Afghanistan. So when I saw your background, my eyes perked up and lit up, and I thought, no, I really want to have Crystal on our talk show and just to share with others, because I think you're such an example of starting a business, but not only starting the business for something that's going to benefit your family, but also benefit others. And so that's what we all strive to do. So welcome today, Crystal.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I would love to start today by just sharing with the women that are listening on how did you come up with the idea to open Semper Pi? And I know that's the Marine saying. I've heard it most of my life, and many of my son's friends from the Naval Academy are Marines. So I smiled when I saw Semper Pi. How did you decide to open up Semper Pi? And then also, is running a business exactly what you expected when you started?
I have a little bit of a story, how we started. Him and I were both unemployed due to COVID, and I had to come up with a dessert for my mother-in-law for Thanksgiving. And prior to this cheesecake, I never baked anything out of box, honestly, which is funny. Somehow this cheesecake came out amazing, and it was our apple pie cheesecake. And my husband talked me into selling it on the Facebook yard sale on Facebook, and that's how we got started. We started selling 20, 30 a week, and it just kept getting busier and busier. We didn't really know where this was going to go. It was just something to keep us busy because him and I are used to working full-time jobs. We kept this going after Christmas, and Valentine's Day, we got shut down by the state because you can't make cheesecakes out of your house. It's cottage law, and it was a good time to put it behind us. But after that, we were involved with a railroad in Boyertown called Cobrookdale Railroad, and I had an event coming up that week with him for Valentine's Day, and I had to be honest, and we told him we can't do it. We told him why, and he opened up his kitchen to us for free. So we built our business out of there, and then we just kept getting bigger and bigger, so it was time to find our own spot, and we just took the leap of faith. It was time to either put it behind us or just continue it. So we LLC, my husband, because he was a Marine and because it was an apple pie cheesecake, he came up with the name. It was just funny to him always. So it was just a perfect fit. And then jumped into opening a shop with no experience before this. I did hair and he was in construction. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you know what I love about this? I love the transparency and the honesty. And I think everyone can relate to the reality of you get a great idea, you're excited, you start, and then there's that setback, that reality of, oh, wait, there's regulations here, and we have to conform to things, or this is much more expensive than I thought. So I had to, when you were talking, I was like, wow, that's a real aha moment of a real transparency of a reality of a setback. And yet the generosity and the caring of those around us, and I think especially during COVID, right, people wanted to help each other, that this one person to step up, right, and say, you can use my facility. What a gift. What a gift. But now when you talk about Semper Pi, tell us about your mission, because you don't just make pies for profit. There's a real give back to this. Can you how did that come about, and how did that passion, and you really are giving back to those first responders or those, especially now in the current world situation, those that are deployed, or that's what a gift.
My husband, with being in the Marines and being a veteran, it's very important to him. There's never enough support or giving back, and we just give back a small portion, and we're proud of it. Not only do we give back 22 cents per sale, we're always giving back to the community, because we wouldn't be where we're at today without them. There's people that stepped up and took us under their wing, and with the 22 cents, we're always dropping off cheesecakes to first responders and always doing fundraisers for the community. And it's very important to us to give back. And we give back quarterly. Last quarter, we gave back to Pittsburgh Fisher House. And this quarter, we're going to do tax someone more local, just one person individually.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's interesting, because I remember when my father was living alone. My mother had passed away, and there was a local restaurant in town. And one night they just rang the doorbell, and he opened the door, and they said, "No, it was your night. We pick an elderly person that we know every Wednesday night, and we bring them a dinner." And what a beautiful dinner they brought. And I can't even tell you, it was months and months and months, and he still talked about that. So you don't realize in life what one small thing does to just change a life. And if you're a first responder, or you're going to be deployed, or even the young wives with babies and things, I mean, what a gift something like that is. We may not think much of it, but those that are receiving it really do. So wow, that's great. And I do have one more question for you, because I think that you are such a prime example, you and your husband. Here's COVID. You could have both been saying, okay, we have more free time. What are we going to do? Watch TV, look at our computers, our cell phones. You really took it upon yourself, an experience of just baking a simple pie right for Thanksgiving. Here you are. Let's keep doing this. Your husband encourages you. You say, okay, let's do this. It starts to grow. You start to feel energy and really good about what you can give back to the community while building a business. But I'm sure that a lot of people often go through life, right? And we ignore those aha moments of maybe things or opportunities that are there for us that we might really enjoy. What advice would you give some of the women today that are listening? How can they think about possibly, if they're interested, starting their own business? What would be some of your advice, even just one or two things that you would give them advice on how they could do that or look into that?
My advice really from the heart is to just go with it. There's so many young people, and I mean any age people, that are just holding back from a good idea, or they're too afraid because financially. But I mean, the craziest ideas and the crazy inventions make it. And I never baked in my entire life, and just going with it, I make 15 new flavors each week, and that just start of the apple pie is now it's something great. And it's just because we just took it day by day, and yeah, that would be my advice.
I actually think you're so right. It's almost like jump in the water and then you'll figure out how to swim to the side for survival.
Yeah.
And often what I have found, so many women that I have met that are so happy in what they do and have these amazing, absolutely amazing, successful businesses, say, actually, I didn't start out doing that. But what happened is, and they give an example, and then I either changed direction, or I decided I love doing this aspect of the business more, and they're happy. And I think when you're not, and it was never ever about, and I really wanted to make a lot of money. It was more like I was really loving this, and then we couldn't believe we started to really become profitable doing it. And so I think so often if we pause and we really enjoy the journey, and we really are honest that you don't know how long you're going to have this journey, so you might as well enjoy it while you're doing it. So this has been really encouraging, really, really encouraging. I have one more question for you, though. What was your real big dream? Like, you're here today. What is your big dream to get to?
With Semper Pi, you're asking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And by the way, I have never tried a Semper Pi, so that's my goal, is to make sure that I get to try one. So
yes, for sure, very soon. My goal is to just keep growing. I'm not quite sure how to grow right now. I'm at that crossroad. I just want to keep hitting different communities and be able to give back more than what we do. And the best way to do that is maybe open a second location. I would love to have these at like every base, which is funny, but it would just fit perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's actually, I can't even imagine a better idea. I think it would be instantaneous success. So that's absolutely great.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And I'll tell you what, we are not far from some bases, so I hope to see you there someday when I drive on to one of those yards and say, hey, there you go. So,
awesome. Well, thank you again for having me.
No, it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful, and I just hope that other people become as encouraged that they can do it and they can start it, and it's never too late to reach out and have your dream. So thank you, Crystal, for joining us today. Thanks for tuning into today's episode of Women's Wealth, The Middle Way. Make sure to subscribe to us and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcast app. Join us for new episodes every other Wednesday. See you in 2 weeks.